Registered dietitian Melissa Dobbins. She's always here to sort things out.
When people restrict carbohydrates, they lose a lot of water weight at first, and it suppresses hunger. So that can be a very effective way to get started. My message is not low carb, but light carb and the right carbs.
We know through research that whole grains are good for us. They're good for heart health, they're good for digestive health, and they're helpful for weight control too.
There's such a fear factor when it comes to produce, pesticides, organic, fresh. The bottom line is the health benefits of getting more fruits and vegetables far outweigh any minute exposure to pesticides.
Studies show that trans fats, like saturated fat and cholesterol in foods, raise the LDL, or the bad cholesterol, in our blood, and therefore increase the risk for heart disease. It's most commonly found in baked goods, fast foods, some margarines, processed foods usually.
There's a lot of it still out there. What kinds of products?
Back in 2006, products were required to show on the label how much trans fat is in the food. So there's been a significant decrease in our intake of trans fats.
Hard-boiled eggs are a great way to eat right. They're protein-packed snacks, and making them is as simple as boiling some water and setting a timer. Adding beans to your diet is a great way to eat right and boost nutrition. Try adding beans to some of your favorite dishes, such as soups, salads, and side dishes.
You can have your cake and eat it too by modifying some of the fat, the sugar, or the sodium. So what we did, we made blancmange, which is like a custard, pumpkin bread, some eggnog, and some blueberry muffins. You're going to get 2 or 3 of these mini muffins for one muffin, so it depends. I think it's easier to eat just a little mini muffin, especially with kids, little tiny finger food type things, versus eating part of a whole muffin. I think psychologically it's harder for us to do that.
People get confused between sell-by and expiration dates, but the problem is sometimes it's a quality issue, but sometimes it's a food safety issue. So you really want to pay attention to the expiration dates, because if you don't, you could get foodborne illness.
As you prep your feast, follow a few simple rules to keep your kitchen and your family safe from bacteria.
We all used to rinse the turkey and even chickens. We just think that's what you're supposed to do.
It's not. Rinsing raw meat simply spreads bacteria all over the sink. Instead, make sure your bird is completely thawed.
To thaw it in the refrigerator, which is the most recommended method, it takes about 24 hours for every 4 pounds. The American Dietetic Association says that pregnant and breastfeeding women may be at nutritional risk because the nutritional needs are so much higher during pregnancy.
Okay.
So a lot of women pay more attention to what they're eating during that time, and a lot of doctors recommend prenatal supplements. Now, I'm a dietitian and a mom, so I know how much confusion and concern there can be during this time.
Now, all milk contains some natural sugar, so the flavored milk contains about 3 teaspoons of added sugar. But look at all the nutrients it provides that sports drinks and colas do not.
Having the right knowledge and skills can make the difference between good health and poor health when you have diabetes. You want a good, healthy, balanced diet, and this shows you here about half your plate vegetables, 1/4 lean protein, and 1/4 carbohydrate, preferably whole grain.
The hardest part is the fear that I won't be able to eat the foods I want, and that's where a dietitian and diabetes educator comes in and says, no, let me show you how to still do what you want and make some changes that can make a big difference in your health.